Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Welcome to the Calmie African Diary Show, right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. I do believe that everyone is doing okay on this particular Thursday morning. In Nairobi, it is already 28 minutes past 4 p.m. And sorry about my lighting today. We have been experiencing a blackout since yesterday. So yeah, that is why my lighting is like this. My neighbor keeps a dog as a pet, so it's just all over. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing okay. Jeez, I might throw that dog somewhere. But I hope everyone is doing okay on this particular Thursday morning. I am doing fine, apart from the slight hitches that you have been experiencing. That is in terms of electricity. Let me tell you guys, welcome to Africa, whereby we have one main company that is providing electricity. And of course, this is, I believe it is a government company. And this is one particular place. No, this is one particular company that does not get to live competition. Some time back, we did have other companies coming about, other electricity companies coming about and, trying to come up with their own type of electricity. Trust me, they bought their shares and continued to remain dominant. So here we are. You can raise your concerns the whole day. If they feel like it is not necessary for them to come, they won't come to your area. And trust me, our branch is like it's just like a 30 minutes to come and fix this electricity. So we've been having electricity, I think some power outage ever since yesterday when I had left for work. I think around 10 a.m. So yesterday 10 a.m. till now, no electricity. They had promised they were coming to fix around 10 a.m. in the morning. Right now it is actually the day is almost over, so I believe no services are going to be rendered. So this is how it is here in Africa at times, that you can go on, raise your concerns, nobody will come actually to really deal with them. I mean, it's just so messed up. And I can imagine, for those who are actually highly relying on electricity in terms of maybe are using some inhalers and things like that. So it's really going to affect a lot of people. But then again, you just I have to to maintain, because we do not have any alternative. So that is where my camera is a little bit blurry today. You can't see me clearly, but it is because of electricity. And the weather today has been a little bit good. I can say the weather today has been a little bit good. It has been partly sunny, but right now it seems like it might pour down anytime. But that is just an update coming from my side. I don't know for your side what you are experiencing, considering that right now most of you are still in bed, or they are up, to chase the grind. But in Nairobi, it is 31 minutes past 4 p.m. And of course, so apart from all of these challenges, we are looking forward to a better day. Karibuni sana to the Calmie African Diary Show. And remember, this is the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. And you can simply get a log onto www.blackwatchfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed and get to listen to some of the music. You can get to listen, not even to some, you can get to listen to the music. You can also proceed and get to read the blog, some of the blogs that are on our website. You can also proceed and get that is to watch these videos. You can get to like these videos. You can also get to share these videos. And also another thing that you can get to do once you are on our website is that you can get to support the stream by contributing at Mr. Cash Fire. Sorry, to Mr. Cash App, but that was just a little bit of a hit there. But thank you so much. Nashukuru sana to everyone who is already up, and of course, I am looking forward to having a rather interesting show, considering that it is on a Thursday. Finally, one day to the weekend. I mean, who doesn't look forward to the weekend? One day to the weekend. And funny how the weekend is just. I think my weekend starts on a Friday, because by Sunday morning, I've already counted the weekend to be over, because we've all seen how Sunday gets to like really end so fast. But I have apart from that, I just hope that everyone is faring okay. And also another thing that I'd like to remind us is that we do have other shows as well. We do have the Calmie African Diary show. We do have the 54 correspondence show. We also do have the Express show right here on the Blackwood Furniture. We also do have the Pan African Bliss show right on the Blackwood Furniture. Also, another thing that we do have is that we do have the Swahili classes. We also do have, the 254 Tujadili show. The shows are quite too many of them. Seems like it's going to rain any time from now, but we'll get to proceed with the show. I just hope the rains will not get to hinder, my voice. You can hear my voice is a little bit hoarse. This is to the weather yesterday. And guys, there's just something that is happening, and it's just quite disturbing. But before you even get to talk about that, let me know how you are doing. Let me also know where you are tuning in from, and also how your Thursday, not Monday. How your Monday is also rolling out. Let me also know how your Monday is rolling out. And just to proceed with that is that I love to remind us of this favorite quote that say in Swahili that says actually asiyesikia la mkuu huvunjika guu. Not that I'm a Swahili teacher, but I'm just trying to remind us a little bit of Swahili that says asiyesikia la mkuu huvunjika guu. I'm telling you, my voice is so bad. I'm just under some flow. I think I'll have to like hide the camera for some time. But asiyesikia la mkuu huvunjika guu is a Swahili saying that simply says, whoever does not heed to the words of the elders in the community, they always end up being messed up in the society. Let me repeat this. And of course, this is the quote of the day. Asiyesikia la mkuu huvunjika guu. Just to say, whoever that does not heed to the words, that is the wise words of the elders in the community, always end up messing themselves in the society. That is just in part of the words of the day, and it also goes hand in hand with the topic of the day in terms of the surge in crime rate in the coastal areas. And I believe you might have maybe experienced this, or you might have heard about this, but I think it is a matter of concern. I think it is a matter of concern because it is just increasing on a daily basis. And as much as the government has sent out warnings out there, as much as they have been different people trying to talk to the youths, we've been having different people coming about and trying to do their best to make sure that they have rehabilitation centers, as much as we also do have just different people out in the society who have actually sacrificed their lives to try and mobilize the youths and not to indulge in the world of drugs, in the world of a crime. But then again, there is on the rise on that, and on a daily basis we have been experiencing of course young people dying in the process. And that is why I have said asiyesikia la mkuu huvunjika guu, just to say that whoever does not get to heed to the words of the elders in the society, they always end up being messed up. And moving on from that, because that is the topic of the day, so feel free to interact with me. Feel free to give me your views regarding the topic of the day, because all you do right here on the Blackwood Fire Network is we always of course get to interact with one another. We always get to listen to one another. We always get to engage with one another, and also the main goal of the day is to transform one another. That is basically what we are all about. So in Swahili we say just feel free. In Swahili just say unaweza changia, unaweza changia kwenye mada ya leo. Just say that you can feel free to contribute to the topic of the day. And to those who might have missed the show, remember you can't simply get to have a hold on the show by simply logging onto at www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can watch these shows. That is some of the shows that you might have missed. You can also proceed and get to like these shows. Another thing that you can also get to do is that you can get to listen to the music. You can also get to read the blogs, and you can also get that is to share some of this video right once you have visited our website. And also once more, karibuni sana to the Calmie African Diary Show. Remember, my name is Calmie. I've just warned you about my voice. Today I think it is my turn. I think I've taken after kid. It's my turn. I just did get to be rained a little bit on yesterday. I hope that some of you are not affected by the flu as I am, but irrespective, I am doing okay. So we will get to proceed with the show. So as always, what do we get to do on this particular platform? As always, what do we get to do on this particular platform? On Tuesdays and Thursday, we get to talk about, we get to update ourselves on what is happening. And from time to time, we have been talking about different cultural issues. From time to time, we have been talking about what has been affecting us in a society, both in a positive manner and also in a negative manner. And yesterday on the Calmie African Diary Show, we did get to deal with history. And in terms of our history as the Black people, in terms of our history as the Black people, is that we did get to take a look at one local brew. We did get to take a look at one local brew that has hit the waves, and right now it has gone international. And I was just mobilizing guys on being cautious on what they get to drink, and I also mobilizing guys that yes, as much as it is a local, as much as it can be locally prepared, some people do not really know the agenda, and some people will be out there trying to steal the African agenda. So it is good to be always cautious, and also to get to know the source as to where you are trying out some of these commodities. And also it talked about these are just products that to get to that they do not get to use a lot of chemicals on these products. So as a result, you are 100% guaranteed that you are not going to go to have, or rather to be affected by any side effects, as opposed to some of the people actually get to drink. And I'm talking about just the likes of I do not want to call them modern drinks, because some of them, the recipes were tradition, but the recipes were stolen. I'm talking about the likes of these different drinks, the likes of different champagnes, different whiskeys. Some people have drunk them, some people have ended up blind, some people have lost their lives in the process. I mean, it is just crazy, because most of the time we do not really know the agenda of the manufacturer. But then again, moving on, that was in terms of yesterday, and we had really taken a deep look into these, some of these traditional products that you can get to use. And also it is good, this is also a reminder that I understand that some of you might really not know their rural places, but it is good to always do your research and find out where you are coming from. Also, another thing, it is extremely good for you to do your research and get to know some of the cultural practices that your people did get to do, such that some of these cultural practices, you can, of course, get to pass them from one generation to another. That is basically what I did get to talk about yesterday in terms of passing some of these cultural practices from one generation to another. And moving on to the updates of the day, remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show, and we really get to talk about some of the things that do get to affect us. So let me just take you one-on-one to Zimbabwe. What is really happening in Zimbabwe? So in Zimbabwe, we do have okay, let me just still call her the first lady of the late Mugabe. I'm talking about Grace Mugabe. This is one lady whom we all know. She has been, known to don the likes of, designers, get to live the posh life and so on. Well, I cannot blame her. Being the lady of the first, being the first lady of a nation, you really need, to show other ladies that yes, I got the fashion and so on. But then again, she really did get to do it at the expense of the people. And we also at some point how how Zimbabwe was pretty much messed up, to a point whereby even Mugabe was selling some agricultural tools. I mean, that is some agricultural machines, to a point whereby Mugabe sometimes did even get to sell some I think it was cows or something like that. I mean, then Zimbabwe was really messed up. And we also got to see that people were even sleeping hungry in that same nation, but the first lady was not affected at all. So right now, they say that in the traditional society, if you are a lady and maybe the elders really did not want you to be married to that community, wait until something happens to your husband and he has no voice. Could be dead, he could be missing, and so on. That is when you'll get to see the real Pepe's, the real Pepe, of course. That is when you'll get to experience the real Pepe. That is when you'll get to know that, oh, that in-law who has actually been smiling at you doesn't want nothing to do with you at all. And this is not the first time this has been happening. We have been witnessing it even just around Africa, that you get to be married and maybe the in-laws did want someone else to be married in that compound, and the son just went ahead and insisted on marrying you. And the result is that whenever even the son is outside or away from home and you are left with the relatives, most of the time they will make sure they have really given you a hard time. And that is not a new case with Grace Mugabe. So Mugabe did get to die at the year 2019. Is it 2019? Yes, I think 2019 is when Mugabe did get to die. And we are in the year 2021, 2 years later. That even after the demise of Mugabe, even after being buried according to his wishes, that even after being buried, in his family homestead, because trust me, if I was in the same shoes as Grace Mugabe, I wouldn't want to bury my husband, to his home. He's mine, and we have been living together for the longest time possible. I know his secrets. He's been my partner in crime and things like that. So I think I have every right to bury him in our homestead. But I do not know your views regarding that. You can't give me your views regarding that. But according to the culture, of the Mugabe family, the Mugabe brothers, I think the brothers and of course the mom, they had said that if Mugabe was to die, of course he died at the age of 95. So I'm wondering, I think the mother also died, because if the son was 95, then that means that the mother would have been also dead long time ago. But of course, according to the family, they are saying that the mother and the rest of the family wanted Mugabe to be buried in his native home, according to the traditions of where he was coming from. Guys, I'm talking about 2 years after being buried. Not even, I'm not talking about a few days, but I'm talking about 2 years after being buried. That now a scandal has to come about as to where you should have been buried. And I just want to ask the family, do you think, or does it really matter as to where you are buried as an individual? Or does it really matter as to where you are being buried as an individual? Because according to Grace Mugabe, she soon might be forced to exhume Mugabe's remain and get to bury him, and of course, and get to bury him according to the tradition. So do you think that where you are buried really matters? Hello, Keith.
Good morning, Calmie. Or good afternoon, Calmie. Have you found any of these classic clandestine lovers that you were talking about yesterday?
What about them?
I said, have you found any of these clandestine lovers that you were talking about yesterday?
They know I am fire, so they are maybe playing low key. They are definitely playing low key because
Okay.
they know I can erupt like a volcano. How are
Look,
you doing, Keith?
I'm good. The weather's kind of funny here. I can't believe this
Hmm.
weather's strange.
Very strange
I'm,
indeed.
yeah, strange. I'm in Florida and it's cold as hell in May. It's supposed to be
Ew.
summer almost, but it's very
Hmm.
warm. very cold and windy. It's feel like it's October or something here.
Yeah, that is the same thing. That is the same thing that is happening here. Just a few minutes ago, it was at least today it was a little bit sunny, but right now it seems like it's going to rain any minute. Keith, do you know that around this particular place we have been experiencing a power outage since yesterday 10 p.m. They were supposed to
Wow,
fix today 10 at 10 a.m. I mean
wow.
yesterday 10 a.m. They were supposed to fix today at 10 a.m. No signs of these guys. I mean, Kenya literally have to beg for the services.
I'm trying to figure what was the reason for the power outage. Was there a storm?
Yes, they're blaming it on the weather. There's one pole that is down, so that is why there has been an issue with connectivity. I basically had to like walk and find a place whereby I can charge. And yet again, we are paying rent for all this. It's just crazy how the government, and the main supply of electricity is some government parastatals, so they'll deal with their own pace.
Yeah, that's the
Hmm.
corruption in Kenya. We were talking about that today, me and Spice. Corruption in Kenya is just out of control.
Hmm.
I, listen, much as beautiful as it is, I can't live in Kenya till they change to these government goals. I got to choose Tanzania. I'll do business in Kenya, but I
Hmm.
won't live in Kenya. It's just too crazy because they don't give
It's
a shit about people. Like,
true. It
my,
is just
my,
so corrupt. And yesterday I was just watching the news, and they were telling us to brace ourselves up that the prices of basic commodities are still going to increase. This is our Kenyan. They have the audacity to even bring that on the mainstream media in Kenya, telling us to brace ourselves up for tough days ahead. I mean, what is this?
no, it's because of inflation. Even here in the United States, things are expensive as hell. I mean,
Hmm.
hey, it's really bad here in the United States. People have no jobs and things are highly expensive.
Hmm.
Um, so it's going to be inflation worldwide. I think it's going to be inflation worldwide because of what they're doing. Well, the thing that we can't talk about on YouTube is the reason
Hmm.
why the economies are so bad because of this virus thing that they
Yeah,
collapse the economies, so everything's gonna be rising in cost. So
true.
just basic services, you're right. I'm not even home during the
Hmm.
week. I said, how's my electric bill so high? Ain't nobody in the house. Well, your house
Real.
is your house is big, and
Hmm.
and did you unplug all your appliances? I said, who the hell's gonna unplug all their appliances when they leave?
Exactly.
I, I can't go to room unplugging shit. Well, you might want to unplug all your appliances, and then in in America we have something called a fuse box. You might
Hmm.
want to cut off all your fuses. Then you won't have.
Hmm.
I said, I'm not gonna do that every time I leave. I'm only there like 2 days a week. Why is
Hmm.
my electric bill so damn high? Is somebody sneaking in using electric while I'm gone? What the hell's going
And
on?
having fun. And having fun
Yeah,
at your
yeah,
absence.
they must be looking at TV, making all kind of making food, popcorn, looking at Netflix and chilling. I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I understand what you mean, Cammy. I understand what you mean about the
Mhm.
prices are crazy. But do they got a backup generator in the apartments? Like
No. Let me tell you, Kit, the services in most apartments in the country, whether you're paying, let me say, even more than $100 and above. Let me say whether you're paying even $300, $400, $500. I think for you to have a backup generator in that apartment, you must be paying quite a lot amount of money. But I think for from $300 and below, or $400, and let me just use $500 and below, most of these apartments, no landlord will consider putting a backup generator. If there are no lights, you survive. That is how
wow,
Kenya is. That is how Kenya
I
is.
know. You ain't got those kind of power outs in Tanzania like that. I don't understand why. I because most apartments I seen
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have Spikes go the wintertime and get a house in
Mm-hmm.
Tanzania so we go back and forth. They usually
Mm-hmm.
come with like a generator. Houses for
Yeah.
rent, like $200, $300 on it. They all come with backup generators.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Kenya,
love Kenya. I'll do
Kenya,
business in Kenya, but I won't live there.
Kenya is just we even the Kenyans, we are tired with their own with our own country. So Keith, earlier on I was talking about before I even get to talk about the main topic, we were talking about the situation that is in Zimbabwe, that Grace Mugabe is being told by her in-laws that she did not bury Mugabe the right way it was supposed to. Remember, this is 2 years after Mugabe is dead, and they
Of
want
course.
her to exhume her body, I mean his
Damn.
body, and get to bury him in his homestead instead of
Okay,
where they used to live with Grace.
the family. So then we get this. So we talk about the family again. So
Yes.
just like we talked about with the relationship show yesterday. So the
Yeah.
families tell, so the families telling her ass, "Hey, lady, you didn't
Mm-hmm.
bury our family member where we wanted to be buried in his homestead. Now you got to dig up the
Exactly.
body and bury him over here." And if I was her, I'd tell them to go
Uh-huh.
kick rocks. Let you.
Exactly, because I was just imagining that she has been with Mugabe through his corruption days and so on. So at least the best she can do is get to bury him in his in his own compound. And they were talking about the fact that someone was saying that Mugabe was all okay with him being buried in the compound. Of course, Mugabe did not have any voice in that relationship, so of course he was definitely okay. And I just want to ask you, Keith, does it matter where someone is being buried? Some people get
No,
to
no,
be like mhm,
it depends on if it's ancestral land and if you're gonna
mhm,
if you're actually connected with the shamans of that of
mhm,
of the I can't call it a nation. I don't like to call Kenya, Zimbabwe. These are
mhm.
fake nations by Europeans.
Yeah.
Unless you're connected with African shamans, yeah,
Mhm.
maybe. But most of not. Mugabe was a Christian. Who gives a shit where he's buried? He believed in
Yeah.
white Jesus. So who gives a shit?
Mhm.
No, no. When you believe in a lie, then I don't care they bury your ass at sea. Who cares?
True.
So if you believe in a lie, it's not ancestral because you believe in white Jesus, who was an
Mhm.
ancestral African. So you can't say this is ancestral land and you're a Christian. That don't make
Mhm.
no sense. So that
Mhm.
don't work. So who gives a shit where he's buried? So hey, unless the state's gonna pay for it, and the state is not gonna pay
Exactly.
for it, because they
Because
already buried
because
his ass.
Yeah, because this is now a lot of confusion, and you can imagine. I mean, that's just going to be so dirty and all that thinking so on. Because 2 years, what are you going to bury even? What does it even
What you
matter?
gonna
He's already long
what you gonna
gone.
bury? You're gonna bury his bones. His body's already decomposed.
Yeah,
Body,
and
it's
then
gonna be nothing but it's gonna be nothing but bones and maggots, Cammy.
mhm.
Because
and
the
and
body doesn't the body Mugabe's already back on the planet. He's
yeah.
I'm sorry, reincarnated. He's somebody's baby right now. He's a child. We didn't know he was Rob Mugabe. That's how the world really works. You
He's a child.
reincarnate. Yeah, he's somebody's child. He's somebody's child. He might be in America. He might be in South America.
Or he
He's a,
might be going now through hell, through the real hell that the
there,
people of Zimbabwe are going
there's no,
through.
sorry, there is no hell. Sorry, there is no hell. He's back on the planet as somebody's child now. He's either a young girl or a young
Mhm.
boy, and
And
I don't know where he's born at. He's born to some black mother somewhere.
yeah,
He could be
yeah.
born some black lady in Denver, Colorado, or some woman
Mhm.
in Brazil. I don't know where
and
the
that,
hell he's at. Go ahead, Ken.
and yes, kid, and that's why I'm saying that right now maybe if he's now back, he might be going through at the same maybe he might be going through the hell that the people of Zimbabwe are going through back then when he was
But
in power. Right now,
man, that'd be funny if he's born to a Zimbabwean woman, because now he doesn't have the power. That's karma. That's called karma.
yeah,
He'd be born in
hmm,
abject poverty of the poverty that he created, and
true.
he'd be suffering as a young Zimbabwean baby. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know. That could happen.
That will even be worse. That will
Yeah.
even be worse. But thank you for your views regarding that, Skip. And regarding also the same situation, this is not the first time that whenever there is a burial taking place, that the family of the spouse starts having issues, or they want him or her to be buried maybe in their homestead, and you want maybe to be buried in your
Then
homestead, and
why did you pay for it then, damn it, since you so upset?
hmm
Why didn't you do it while he was living when he knew he was already sick? Said we need to bury him
hmm
in the homestead and we the family's
hmm
gonna pay for it, all of it. Okay, that's what you do. Don't come back 2 years later and tell me, you're buried in the wrong place. You must pay to get him exhumed. You must pay to bury him in our home.
yeah.
I tell you, go
hmm
kick rocks and kiss my ass.
True. True. I
That's
agree.
what I
I
tell
agree.
you.
hmm I agree with you on that, Kit, because it has been an issue, and some bodies have even been left to stay for years in the morgue because their relatives cannot agree. So you can imagine how even the dead do get to feel they're not at peace at all. And moving on from that, Kit, I
That's
want to talk about the yes.
well, I'm saying that's a bad thing, and that's no African culture. African
Mm-hmm.
civilization, we never cared the body. Nobody gave a shit about the body because the body is
Mm-hmm.
not real. The spirit is already left. Once the body dies,
Mm-hmm.
the person that the body's avatar, Cammy. This is
Mm-hmm.
African science.
Mm-hmm.
Africans knew the body is not real. It's an avatar. They never fought over no damn body. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
The spirit is gone. A person
True.
who inhabit the person that's Cammy is now gone once the body dies. But the
Mm-hmm.
spirit lives on. The spirit is eternal. There's no such thing as death. The spirit,
Mm-hmm.
unless you vibrate high enough and know how to break this illusion, your ass is
Mm-hmm.
coming right back. You come right back. Sorry. We
I
don't change the
bet.
sex. You come right back. You're gonna be a man or a girl again. Man or boy. I mean, a girl or boy.
uh,
And you're gonna go
but
through
hope.
the hell you're going through again. This this is hell, Cammy. This is
Mm-hmm.
hell. This is the hell.
But
You talking about the hell rim? No fucking.
But I just hope in the forms of a reincarnation, nobody gets to come back as a stray dog, because the things you'll have to go through as that stray dog,
No,
you'll wish
you
you never
no,
came
you don't
back.
come back. No, you can't come back as an animal. You only come back as a human because you. No, you don't come back as a dog or a cat or a goat or no shit.
You are.
You come back as a vibrational being, Cammy. You
Mhm.
only come back as a human being, as a black being. You can't even come back as a
Mhm.
white person. White people just try to put
Mhm.
that con. Oh, I was a black person. No, you was never no black person. It's about vibration. You don't vibrate high enough to be
Mhm.
black. Just like a
Yeah.
black person doesn't vibrate low enough to be a white
Mhm.
person. So it can't be Cammy came back and now she's some white woman living in France. No, you don't vibrate low
Mhm.
enough. You vibrate too high to be a white woman. You vibrate too high. You're more
Mhm.
royalty being black. You can't come back as no white woman or no fucking animal. White people have animal genetics, so you can't come back as no white person. It's about
Uh-huh.
vibration. That's why I had you read the seven principles of the universe. It's about vibration.
Yes. Yes.
Your soul vibrates at a certain frequency, Cammy. You can't come
Mhm.
back here as a dog or as a white person. Your vibration is too high. So you can only come
Mhm.
back as a black man or as a black woman. You've been here before. You've been here many times, Cammy. And your name wasn't
Yes.
Cammy back then. You've been here many times. I don't know where you've been at. You gotta find real shamans to teach you that. You probably been somebody in Brazil. You probably was some woman over here. You might have been a slave over here in America. You might have been
Mhm.
you've been here many lives. That's just a fact. That's how
True.
that's African science. You've been here many times
Mhm.
until you vibrate high enough to break this illusion. You gotta vibrate high enough to get past being reincarnated. So
Mhm.
when you vibrate at a certain frequency, you don't come back. You go out to the universe and start to create, and you
True.
transform amongst the universe. But you gotta learn that.
It's
You
good you've
learn
told
that.
me that, Kit. I'm saying it's
Yeah,
good you told me that, kid, because we were arguing with some people. We were saying that, oh, you might come back in any form, but it is good you have
no,
highlighted
you
on
don't
that.
come back to no any form. That's what. No, it's about vibration, Cammy. It's about your
Mm-hmm,
vibration. You can't come back as a lower entity than you are. It's your
mm-hmm,
black woman, so it means you're high spiritually. Now you might have been lying, you told lies, was raised up in Christianity or Islam, but that
mm-hmm,
doesn't change your vibrational level when you came back into this body. Came when
mm-hmm,
you reincarnate to your mama's womb, even though she's your mother, but you may be an older soul than your mother is. You
mm-hmm,
gotta understand when we gonna because a lot of times we don't get along with our families. We don't understand, well, these are not really your family members. You're just born to these people, but they're not your soulmates throughout time and space.
mm-hmm.
They're just people that you were born to maybe learn a lesson, or maybe you knew, maybe you were like best friends uh, 300 years ago or some shit. You say, you know what? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
be when you guys go in the spirit world. You say, you know what? I'm gonna be your daughter this time. Okay, well, I'm gonna be your husband.
Wow.
These are choices you can make,
Mm-hmm,
but um, um, as a spirit, which you are, see that now that the Europeans got the Africans scared, talking about some fake. If I don't worship white people, I'm gonna go to hell and die and burn. I always ask the question: how can you burn a spirit, Cammy? You can't burn a non-physical being.
yeah,
It's
you
a lie.
can't.
No,
You
you
definitely
can't
can't.
burn
Yes.
me. You can't burn. I'm non-physical. You
Mm-hmm,
can't burn a non-physical being. It's a lie. So that's what I was showing Safarine and Mike today. I was
mm-hmm,
telling them that I was showing them when there was no Christianity. I took them
mm-hmm,
back. They showed them how Africans ruled the world. Gave them a book and said, yeah, the Africans ruled. So when there was no white Jesus and Africans ruled, who did they worship then? There was no Christianity. They wasn't Christians. It didn't exist.
mm-hmm,
And the Africans ruled the world, as Spike's reading in that book this morning. I said, yes, Spikes. So if they wasn't Christians, who they worship? They didn't worship no white people.
yeah.
They were the rulers of the world.
True.
And so they knew their history. They knew that they come back.
Mm-hmm,
And now the Africans scared to die. Like what are you talking about? Where I bury John McGovey or bury my grandma? Who gives a shit? Bury underneath a goddamn rock. Grandma ain't in that body no more. Who the body
yes.
doesn't mean nothing. Yeah, throw
Mm-hmm.
the body in the old chicken coop. Let the chickens eat the body. I don't give a shit because the spirit, because the spirit of the person is gone. They've
Mm-hmm,
already gone to the spirit world, and if they're not vibrating high enough, they're going to be reincarnated, sadly enough, into another
mm-hmm,
black woman. They're going to come. They become a boy or a girl, a black
mm-hmm,
boy or a black girl, anywhere on the planet. They might be born in America. They might be
mm-hmm,
born in the Caribbean island, somewhere in
mm-hmm,
Africa, somewhere in Brazil. Wherever there's a black woman,
mm-hmm,
that's where they're going to be born to. So one lifetime I could have been Kenyan. Another lifetime I was Brazilian. Another lifetime I'm
mm-hmm,
American. Another lifetime I'm fucking South African. That's
mm-hmm,
how it works. But there's no such thing as death with us. We don't die. As
mm-hmm.
black people, we just multiply. Let me stop. We don't die,
Wow.
but we just come back again.
That is some new information, Kit, that I'm learning. Thank you for that. I didn't know much about that. You know, it's more like a debate. Yes,
It's not a
I'm saying
debate.
it.
It's factual. You don't die. No such thing as
Uh-huh.
death for you. Okay, okay, can we, but you can't use your phone. You can't pull it up. I'm about to say,
Yeah.
what is how many pounds does the body lose when you die? It's 21 grams because that's the
Mm-hmm.
measurement of the soul. When the soul leaves
Really?
the body when you die,
Mm-hmm.
that means 21 grams is deleted. You weigh less than 21 grams at that time
Mm-hmm.
because that's the measurement of the soul. So the body's always 21 grams less when it dies. I said, oh, because that's the soul leaving. That's the
Mm-hmm.
spirit, the soul. You're gone. Boop, you're like, I'm out of here. You leave the body. Then if you don't vibrate high enough,
Mm-hmm.
you end up in a net, and you're reincarnated back on the planet. Like, God damn. That's why I've been begging. Oh, when you get a chance, when your child is born, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the child when they
Yes.
spank him on 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 the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's a returning soul. He's gonna be like, for a minute, he's gonna know it. He's gonna be like, God damn, I'm back. Shit, I didn't make it out of here.
I'll begin Keith with that. I'll definitely begin with that,
But
Keith.
listen, be
Uh-huh.
extent and be hypercritical and look at and listen to your child, Cammy.
Mm-hmm.
He'll let you know he's back, but eventually his memory will start to be erased so he can be whoever he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be in this lifetime. Usually,
Mm-hmm.
say a child between the first year
Mm-hmm.
can remember its past life. Then it starts to
Mm-hmm.
forget. So your
True.
child's gonna know that he was some kind of old man or whatever the fuck he was, an old woman now being reborn inside of you. It's a new life.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be and you're this child's mother. But
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean past lives that you did not know your child somewhere in a past life. Maybe you were friends. Hell, maybe you were lovers. All that stuff worked. All that stuff is true. It's some
Yeah.
real African science. Well, quantum physics, if you understand quantum physics, which is African science, it'll blow your mind. You're like, damn. You mean tell me my mama could have been my
I'm
girlfriend 500 years ago? Oh man, that's not right.
I'm shook with the information, but thank you so much, Keith, for that information. I'd love to move on to the main topic of the day. Keith, I have come to realize that in the coastal regions, we have been experiencing a lot of, rather, an increase in the crime rate in the coastal regions. And I'm talking about places like Mombasa, places like even
But
Tanzania, near the coastal region. There has been an increase in crime. We do have gangs there. For example, let me use Kenya as an example. So, Keith, do you know that there's a place in Mombasa whereby, as a business person, you're not really sure if you're going to bag, profits most of the time, because today you might be having a profit, the next minute a group of young boys, even from the age of 15 years, they'll come to your work premises, brandish machetes at you, or even kill you in broad daylight. And these are the same people that even the policemen in that area fear to arrest. And when a private investigator, for example, is sent in that area, most of the time the parents would hide the whereabouts of their children. The parents in those coastal regions, they know their children are criminals. They know they are indulging in crime, in drugs, and so on. But they will not give them
no,
up because they get to share the profits at the
they
end of
share
the
the
day.
money. But they are. I don't want them to hurt anybody, Cammy, but I understand crime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When the government of Kenya is so corrupt and steals all the money from people, you're left
Yeah.
with no choice.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya was set up as a thiefdom for Europeans. So when people left in poverty, Cammy causes crime like America. So when you see all these
Mm-hmm.
movies of American black people, you see, oh, we're all criminals and thugs and we're
Mm-hmm.
all hip hop thugs and criminals, which is not true, but we've been
Mm-hmm.
putting poverty in America. We've been putting so poverty causes crime.
Mm-hmm.
When you have when you have lack of resources, Cammy, hey, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a criminal. You still gotta
That is
eat.
true. Yes, that is true, Keith. I agree with you. And the worst reason is that we are blaming the coastal region to be a place whereby, this is the place whereby anyone can access any types of drug. This is a place where anyone can access any types of drugs. And Keith, we've also been having politicians get to use kids from as young as 15 years, as young as 14 years, so long as they look a little bit mature. They'll get to use these kids to sell the drugs for them. They'll get to use these kids to go on terrorizing citizens. And then come the time of campaign period, there'll be the same politicians who'll be like, oh, we are going to deal with this crime and so on.
We're gonna
In
we're
short,
gonna
they just
clean up these
Mhm.
drug dealers on the streets. We're gonna clean them out. Vote for me. And he's the one behind it. I know.
Kit, can you hear me?
Hey, Cammy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I lost you for a moment.
Oh, I was saying they're the ones responsible for the crime. Then
Mm-hmm.
they say, yeah, we're gonna clean up the crime. They're the
Exactly.
ones responsible for the shit. I know.
So it's more like a business scheme. It's more like a business scheme for them.
Yeah, it's wicked. So what? So what's the solution then, Cammy? Can you hear me? I might have lost you. Can you hear me, Cammy?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I said then
Yes,
what's
I had a little bit of an hitch over there. So in terms
yeah,
of
I'm asking what's the solution then?
I'm moving to a place that is a little bit silent.
I know somebody. Is somebody knocking some? Hey, Cam, is somebody knocking somebody in the head? Stealing
No,
somebody's
no, no. We
bag?
do have no, we do have some guys doing welding. We do have some guys doing welding, so that is why. All right, kids. So in terms of that, I think the solution should be that residents to be aware. Yeah, it's colder here. The solution to that should be that residents need to be aware because they have come to realize that most of their kids do get to indulge in the life of a crime, that most of their kids get to be used by these politicians to push the drugs. Let me catch my breath.
Yeah, take your time.
Uh,
Take your time.
yes, so the parents have come to realize that most of this thing, it's more like a business scheme for them in the coastal region. And some of them, they have highlighted some of these politicians, but we've had even the government at some point. At some point, there's a time that the government was doing, a hunt for these criminals and telling them to give out the names of these politicians. Kate, do you know that even after arresting these kids, even after taking them to the interrogation room and so on, some of these kids did go missing, and the politicians who were mentioned, nobody did anything to them. So
Of
it's
course
more like a
not.
business. Yes.
Of course not. It's business as usual. Because you got to corrupt. Listen, Kenya is like Nigeria. I was close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya is a corrupt country.
Yeah.
It's a fiefdom. It was set up
Mm-hmm.
as a fiefdom when the British left it. I was
Mm-hmm.
showing right before the way it was set up. It was
Mm-hmm.
set up to be corrupt, Tammy, until the Kenyans
Mm-hmm.
rise up and overthrow the complete government. It's
Yeah.
always going to be this way. Until the kids say enough is enough, we're going to rise up and overthrow all of it. It's going to stay the
Uh-huh.
same.
Mm-hmm. That is indeed correct, Kit. But what saddens me is that some of these kids are even killed in broad daylight. Maybe this could be you've just given. Maybe you only have only one kid. Maybe perhaps as a parent you've tried to talk to them and so on, but they really do not get to heed to your words. So the next thing you get to realize, oh, come collect the body. I mean, it has been so disturbing, especially in the coastal
Well,
regions. And yes.
what do you do, Cammy? Okay, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
You're, you're, you're a parent. You're trying to raise a child the best you can. Okay, so you put
Mm-hmm.
policy. The kid is seeing all this flashy stuff. Like I said, he wants a girlfriend, Cammy. He can't get a girlfriend because he can't take her to all the posh places. He can't take it to all the posh places, Cammy. So he's gonna start knocking people in the head, robbing, stealing, selling drugs,
Mm-hmm.
so he can take
Mm-hmm.
his girlfriend to a posh place. And then he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
also
True.
take care of his parents and give her money.
Uh-huh.
I mean, his mom or
Mm-hmm.
dad's money. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a vicious cycle. So hey,
Yeah, true. True that, kid. True that, Kit. I agree with you. And Kit, funny thing is that the younger generation, the guys that dating in their early 20s, they're actually asking for designers, expensive things. So most of these boys, they rather even kill you in broad daylight than and get to buy these designers for their girls. And I was seeing a video that was trending, which is disturbing. That these gangs, maybe gangs from a different from point A and other gangs from point B, they come together in broad daylight. Key, we do have the askaris, or rather the policemen around the street. So these gangs, they do get to come on broad daylight, fight one another, shoot one another in broad daylight. Mind you, there are civilians passing, there are kids passing, there are even the policemen even go to hide because they cannot control these gangs. It's so chaotic in the coastal region, and I've heard about this also in Tanzania, some parts of Tanzania in the coastal region. It is just crazy, and most of people are blaming it on the use of hard drugs. I do not know for sure if hard drugs do get to to contribute to this, because I believe as a
It's
person, what you
poverty.
set your mind towards to is what you're gonna do.
It's poverty. It's nothing to do with the hard drugs. The hard drugs
Mhm,
have been used as money. Hard drugs are
mhm,
an economic way of selling and making
mhm,
money. It's not the hard drugs. It's the poverty and people want to
mhm,
control the
mhm.
economics of the drug trade. So
True.
economics causes, just
Mhm,
like it did in America when you had the alcohol and drugs.
mhm.
Who controls it? So you have wars in the streets in America with amongst black kids
Uh-huh.
and gangs of children from Los Angeles to Chicago. Because
Mhm.
that's the economics of the hood. Drugs.
True.
Who controls it makes the money. So I want to
Yes.
control. So you have gang fights and gang wars
Mhm.
because in the day the underlying factor, Cammy, is
Yes.
poverty. Poverty.
Very true.
You didn't have this kind of poverty in Africa before the European. So that's why you have gangs of black people running around, killing each other, choking each other, and all this old
In.
crazy shit. Because they wasn't impoverished.
Mhm. That is true. I agree with you. Like it's more like a game, and to them, they do not feel anything. And yes, poverty is highly contributing to that, because if you take a look at the coastal region, most youths there do not really work in the coastal region. Most youths there, depend
No
on
doubt.
tourism. That is when now you get to see that a lot of young boys would rather get hooked to older women, to older tourists there as a one way of making money. So
What's
poverty
up,
has
King
also
Darrell?
contributed to this. King Dorel,
Of
good
course.
afternoon to you.
It was going to King Darrell. So, Cammy, exactly right. Why, as me as
Uh-huh.
an African, Cammy, why do I got to buck dance and be a coon for crackers because
Mm-hmm.
I'm impoverished? I got to go have hospitality to white people who tried to
Mm-hmm.
get us. So I got to smile. Hey, white people, here you go. You go your plate of food. Here, you want to see me take you to the lions and let me. Oh,
Yes.
I just love you, white people. But you don't get to go be tourists in their country, and they treat
Mm-hmm.
you all. They get to wait on your beck and call. It's only
Uh-huh.
you as an African. You gotta wait on their beck and call. Oh, white people,
True.
thank you for the tourist dollars. Let me. Oh yes, let me wash your feet, white. You you know good white bastard. Let me Oh, let me show you hospitality.
Uh-huh.
Because you've been put in poverty. The world's upside down. The world's
Very.
upside down. But the
Mm-hmm.
African has now been made impoverished, as I was showing Spike earlier today. When
Mm-hmm.
the African was rich, you live on the richest continent on the planet. So why the fuck am I catering to white people? Why do I got a buck
Exactly.
stand and say, "Oh, white people, you're so good. Thank you for throwing me a few shillings," when all the
Mm-hmm.
money comes from you? Why do I gotta be kissing white people's ass and
We are
being
the
and,
source.
being, and being a subjugated position now?
Mm-hmm.
You won't get to
And
go
even
to Europe and say, oh, white people, won't you take care of me and hospitality? They'll tell you, get out of here, nigga. We don't want you in our country.
yes, and they've been telling them, oh, we're gonna take you maybe abroad. Life there is going to be cheap, or maybe you're going to live together, only for them to be flown out of the country and to go there and be there now slaves, full-time slaves, chained in their own
Exactly. They're
houses.
full-time slaves. Exactly right,
Mm-hmm.
Cam. So
Mm-hmm.
the world is upside down.
Mm-hmm.
The world is upside down with black people now on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I just blows. You got to fight to come from the richest place on the planet, and have to be
Yes.
have gangs and be impoverished.
Mm-hmm.
And African people, what went wrong? You got to start asking that question. What? How the fuck are we on the bottom? And we live on the richest piece of country on the planet, and we got to buck dance with
Absolutely.
Arabs and East Indians and white
Mm-hmm.
people and shit. We work for them. How the fuck are we working for them now? Like, Wow, wow. That's why this crime, Tammy. That's why this crime.
Yes, that is true, Keith. I agree with you. That is the reason as to why we got ourselves so messed up here. And in terms of also what you have said, in terms of what is happening in the coastal region, I also do get to agree with you on that, because for a fact we have really even it starts with the leaders themselves. Because if the leaders have all that time, Keith, to walk from one house to another, get to ask who is in charge, get to get all the information, get to take all the weapons, only for them to end up killing some of these some of the witnesses. Even most of the time they even get to kill the entire gang but get to protect the main gang leader. Then that is where now we get to fail as a nation. That is now where we get to bring ourselves down. We are not there for one another. We do not get to give each other that platform to grow into something better.
Well, you're exactly right because the country wasn't set up for you to be a damn to
Mm-hmm.
work for another. The country was set up as a white thief.
Mm-hmm.
The country, the African countries, Cammy, in
Mm-hmm.
1884, and the Berlin Conference was created to be chiefdoms for white people. That's
True.
why. That's why all the problems you see in Africa, from when you got beautiful African women have got to
Mm-hmm.
prostitute themselves to white people
Yes.
because of money. That's because of 1884, the Berlin Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Because the African has been put in poverty.
True. Mm-hmm.
So now the beautiful African woman's got to fucking prostitute her body to make a living. And to every
Yeah.
African man, that should be a goddamn travesty. That's an act of war. To have your woman out there prostituting her body. Act of, you're supposed to be angry by that.
To them it's
That's,
more like
that's
they're
the norm.
supporting. To them it's uh-huh. Go on.
Go ahead, Cammy. Go ahead.
I'm saying to them, it's like they're supporting the entire agenda. At Derek, ask you, say good morning. Good morning to you too, at Derek. We hope that everyone who is tuning in is doing okay. But of course, the topic that we are talking about today is that of the increase in crime rates in places like coastal places. Not only crime gets to happen in coastal places, but also different areas as well. But you just highlighted on the coastal areas because this is a place whereby you do have a lot of tourists flocking into the
Tourists,
country. These are places whereby you do have a lot of activities that we tend to think is going to promote to the economy happening in the country, but in the real sense, the youth are draining themselves on a daily basis due
but
to
don't get
all
none of that
this.
money. But Cammy,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
have you let foreigners come in and people
Uh-huh.
that were brought in own all the businesses, all the hotels are owned by Africans, Cammy. They're owned by Caucasians, East Indians, or fucking Arabs. So that
Mm-hmm.
money never trickles down to the Africans who
That is.
populate
Mhm.
the country.
That is true, Kit. That money, most of the time, it is shared with their own families and their own blood only. For the rest of us, we have to
Exactly.
be their slaves.
The African is just there as a workforce. Exactly
Mm-hmm.
right. So how can it be that in Africa these hotels are owned by Caucasians, East
Mm-hmm.
Indians, and
Mm-hmm.
fucking Arabs? This is
Mm-hmm.
an abomination to African people. You can't go to the Middle East and find hotels owned by Africans. You can't go to
True.
goddamn Europe and find in all the tourist areas and find
Mm-hmm.
hotels and other economic entities owned by Africans. You
Mm-hmm.
can't come to America and find economic hotels in all the tourist areas owned by African Americans. So why
In,
the fuck in Africa do I got us foreigners owning African property?
Absolutely. And instead, in terms of what you've said, Kit, instead, what happens is that in these posh places, instead of these posh places being owned by the Africans, you can see that these posh places is where now Africans are given even the lowest ranking jobs.
Exactly right. Because the African has allowed people to disrespect him due to
Mm-hmm.
colonization and goofy religions. He
Mm-hmm.
believes that the white man is better because he was told to worship some dead cracker on a stick who ain't
True.
never lived. So you
Mm-hmm.
think white people better, then you give an educational system that's a
Mm-hmm.
lie.
Mm-hmm.
You never was on the bottom. As an African man, African woman, you've always ruled the planet. So now everything is upside down, and your
Mm-hmm.
mind is upside down. That's why you got criminal activity on the coastline because all the businesses are owned by foreigners. If you
True.
own those businesses, those kids would be employed. They
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have to do crime, Cammy. They would be employed by their own.
I agree. I agree with you, Kit, regarding all that. Because for a fact, I think we are actually part of the people who are contributing to all this happening in the coastal regions. Because nobody is really caring. It's more like at the top fish are the only ones who are, of course, are getting to enjoy that. But the real, of course, the
They
Africans
want
who are out
benefits.
there
They,
struggling.
they, exactly right. Exactly right, Cammy. They get a stipend for these businesses for these businesses allowed to be built in Kenya and the
Mm-hmm.
coastline. The puppets that they put in power when they left, they get a piece of the pie. While
Mm-hmm.
the African is struggling, that's every country in Africa. While the regular African struggles, the puppets that they left, the British or the French left, are the ones getting the money, getting a piece of the
True.
pie,
True.
or a piece of whatever you want, piece of the damn of of whatever money's generated. But the regular African is not getting a damn thing from it. He's getting exploited. He's been put in slavery or prostitution. He's getting treated with disrespect and malrepute. And enough is enough. I
Yeah.
say, shit. Hey, man, I wish it's got to be a complete haul over, and these puppets
Mm-hmm.
all got to be killed. I mean, Ghana, the goddamn Kofi Dada Doodoo over in Kenya, whatever the fuck his name. I mean, Ghana, whatever the fuck his
Mm-hmm.
stupid name is. All of them
They'll
got to be wiped out.
they'll still be the billionaires. They'll still be the billionaires. But I think in terms of the solution to the entire topic, since we are almost
Nah, this,
winding up. Yes.
as the ancient text says, Cam and Jojo, they know we reincarnate, and they know
Mm-hmm.
Africans are attached to the rhythms of the universe. So when I showed you the seven laws of the universe, one is
Mm-hmm.
rhythm. African people have
Mm-hmm.
that's why you like to dance, Cam, because you got rhythm. You're part of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
the universal law. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
rhythms is that the African youth who were the ancient ones come back, they're gonna say enough is enough. And it's gonna be a
Yeah.
killing spree in Africa. I'll probably live in Tanzania. I say, please, I'll be an old man. I say, you don't kill me. I'm not the coon. I'm not a coon. I'm, I'm I agree with you killing these people. Don't kill
Uh-huh.
me. I'm not a coon.
Exactly, I agree with you. In terms of the solution to this, I believe it all starts with us, because you can't keep on blaming the youth. You can keep on blaming the drugs, but then again, we are not doing the assignment to find out
But
who is the real
that's
source of the.
that's just a
Mhm.
symptom. That's a symptom. So you always just say, okay, all this crime, that's a symptom. What is the
Yeah.
cause? What is the
Yeah.
cause? What is the actual problem? That's a symptom. Let's say I got cancer.
Hmm.
He coughing and throwing up. That's a symptom of cancer. What caused the cancer? You gotta say
Hmm.
what caused all the crime in
Hmm.
Mombasa and Tanzania, these coastal towns. Because I'm sure it's not
I,
just in Kenya. Any place you got a
yes.
coastal town, it's going to
Hmm.
be crime. But you got Ghana, Gambia. Hell, Gambia is nothing but a criminal organization on that coast. You got those white people come down and sleeping with children, Cammy.
Yeah.
They come to Gambia to sleep with their children. And
What?
These Africans, they give their children up because they're impoverished. Okay, I'll let you
Hmm.
sleep with my child, give me some money. Like, what the fuck?
There is some level of poverty. I think we should do the way at Jeff Rawlings, the later Jeff Rawlings, how he did. Get them to parade all these leaders who have been, contributing to all this. Give them a dart snap and end their regime
He
once and
killed them
for all.
all. He
Yeah.
killed them all, family. He got them all together and he killed them all.
Hmm.
Everybody forget about that.
That was
When
being a mafia.
we knew the
That was being
CIA
a
and all them were
mafia.
controlling the country.
Hmm.
I don't know if being a mafia has been an African leader. He said these people are controlled by white people. The country's
Uh-huh.
not going to allow them to be developed because these
But right
African
now,
Canadians, these Africans have sold out. They have sold out to white people, so I got to kill their ass.
hmm
And
but
so
Keith,
they take the dirt now.
But Keith,
Go
right
ahead.
now,
But
yes, but right now, Keith, as much as even if you get to say that, oh, we need to do it, the JFR Rawlings, where right now these leaders, they even have their own private security outside Africa. Some of them,
oh,
they have the private security from Russia. I'm telling you, the budget these guys have put on the government just in terms of security, because they know people are mad, the people they have stolen from, they are mad, so they're trying to get
exactly
security from
right, Cam.
outside
You're
Africa.
exactly right.
Mm-hmm,
It's gonna fall over, Cam. You're exactly right.
mm-hmm,
These Russians won't go be able to protect them. When the African rises up, you are the majority on the planet, Cam.
yeah.
You can't stop all these you. I don't care how many goofy
Mm-hmm,
Russians you got. They can't stop all these young adults talking about we're gonna overthrow you rotten crooked bastards.
mm-hmm.
They can't stop. They'll get murdered too. Get out the way, you dumbass Russians. You, they don't think these private. Exactly right, Cameron. That's why they got these private security forces because they know they're corrupt and people are saying, "Hey, man, I don't care if I'm
Yeah.
badly educated. I
Mm-hmm.
know I'm fucked up. I might not. I might can't understand it because I'm badly educated, but I know something's wrong. I I might can't I might can't verbalize it. I might
Uh-huh.
can't conceptually understand it, but I know hell. I'm living in this fucking. I'm living in this fucking slum in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
Nairobi, and I see you riding around in a fucking Mercedes Benz.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong. God damn it! Something is wrong. That's all I know.
Mm. Definitely correct. I agree with you, Kit. We are coming to the end of the show, but remember, guys, it has been all about, the increase, or rather the surge in crime rate in the coastal region. Kit, my phone is almost going off, so that's why I'm
Yeah,
just winding up.
you died. Yeah, you died. That's okay. Let's say family must love the cat, must love the family. Be careful
Hmm.
when you're in Mombasa. Hold your purse tight. They might hit you in the head and take it. So be careful
Hmm.
when you're in Mombasa.
Definitely, definitely, Keith. You have to be cautious because anything might happen to you. But I want to appreciate the God King Daryl at Derek Askew, and to those who are tuning to the show, we really,
But I
really
bet,
appreciate you
but I bet
tuning in.
Mombasa is not as bad as Johannesburg, South Africa. Look that up, family. Johannesburg, South Africa. As
Hmm.
Ruby told you, Ruby had to hide her phone in her coochie to walk through the city. I said, damn, I already knew that though. I said,
Keith,
damn.
I'm telling you, out here, it's crazy. Out here, it's crazy. If people want your phone, they'll take it by default. So you better either improve in your skills in hiding that phone, or
I,
you're going
I,
to lose
I
your
don't think
life.
I'm gonna hide up my hoo ha, Cammy. I don't want to
You
put in
have
my.
to. You know, Kit, I think Kit in the diaspora, you guys, you get to be compensated once your phone is lost. In Kenya, if your phone is lost, it's lost, and that is it. That is on
But
you.
yeah,
You cannot.
yeah, you're right. You're right. We got insurance. If our phone
Yeah.
gets lost, stolen, we get a new
Hmm.
one. It's insured. So that is true.
Exactly.
And
Hmm.
I asked for you right. So I understand. Shout out to Ruby's eye for putting your phone in your coochie, sweetheart. Good God, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy out here. People are really, the crime rate is just on the increase. People are like, they better die getting that phone than let you go without phone. So you have to improvise something.
If you
But
careful with
thank
your
you, thank you.
phone, family, watch out.
Yes.
Much love.
Hmm.
Much love.
All right, Keith. Do have a good day, and thank you so much for tuning in. And
And hope the
I'll
lights come
definitely.
back on, Cammy. I don't want you in the dark. I don't want you in the dark all day.
I don't think they're coming. I don't think they're coming anytime soon because I have not seen anyone from the company come repair. So yes, it's also another night in the darkness. Thanks to the
That shit
services.
is crazy to me. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Thanks.
Well, can you go to a friend's house or something? Do they got lights,
It's
or is it the whole area?
no, it's the whole area.
Is it the
It's
whole
the
area?
yeah. You can feel
Oh,
today. There's some sort of a silence actually. There's some sort of a silence around
oh
this
man,
particular area. So it's just the
it's
whole.
not hot, is it? Is it hot?
Pardon?
Is it hot?
No, 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 no. It's actually it's
Is it hot?
no, no, no. It might rain anytime. It might rain anytime from now.
Okay, well at least you're not in the at least you're not in the hot house, so that would make it worse. If there's
Yeah,
like somebody old in the hot house, it might kill them. Shit, hot house.
yeah. We do
So,
not need the
but much
fan.
love, family.
Mhm.
I'm I'm sad about Cammy being in the dark, but I'm in America, there's nothing I can do for her. So, than I can do.
I know, kids. But anyway, just stop. If not, I'll just go to charge my
we
device
got,
on the studio.
but we
But
got to, yeah,
yes,
we got to get you a generator. We can't have you. I don't know
you can't. They'll
when you
steal
get
it.
birth. When you get birth, are you going back with your mother because I can't have you in there with a
No,
baby
no, no, no,
with no lights
no,
on.
no,
And
no.
I don't know if you're
I'll
allowed to have a
definitely.
generator in that apartment.
No, I'll definitely be with my mom for some time. I need to be pampered. Anyway,
Okay.
all
Oh,
right, okay. Thank you, thank you. I don't want to talk about that. I don't even to recall that part. But thank you so much for
oh,
tuning
please.
in.
You're not the one that's ever had a baby, Cammy. Good God.
I'm the first one, and I'm just sitting on everybody around with the attention I'm getting. And the journalists are joining us right now, but we are of course coming to the end. But thank you so much for
Yeah,
tuning
we
in. We'll
winding
get
up.
to interact. We'll get to interact tomorrow on the other show. But do take care, and of course, remember to always vibrate on the positive side instead of the negative. My name is Calmie, and
Much
this has
love.
been the Calm African Diary Show. Keep, take care, and do get to enjoy the rest of your day. It has actually been a delight getting to interact with everyone on this particular show. Much peace and love, everyone.